Welcome to Dance Specific Talks. This podcast is made for us dancers, and our goal here is to inspire dancers from all over the world to become better, both on and off the dance floor. We want to provide you with a platform where we dancers can share and learn from each other. So let me introduce to you your host for this podcast, Teaser, and remember as always, by dancers, for dancers.
What's up everyone, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite dance podcast, Dance Specific Talks. Today I am interviewing one of my friends here in the Netherlands. She comes from a little city called Snake, and she's been blowing up with her Ladystyling videos and her collaboration of videos in Kizomba. I want to take the time out to introduce no one else than DANIÉLLE de JONG. So what do you need to know about DANIÉLLE? Well, she started dancing Kizomba back in 2017, and we're going to ask her all about what she did before that as well. She started with her friend Monica, and they quickly became a couple as DANIÉLLE both can lead and follow. She has since then also started teaching Ladystyling workshops and being booked in several different festivals all over the world. I have the honor to have her in my home so we could have a face-to-face conversation, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our YouTube is growing, our Spotify is growing, our Instagram is growing. So go ahead and join the tribe, follow us so that you can get a notification every single time I upload a new episode on the Mondays. Now, let's get it going. Welcome to this interview, DANIÉLLE!
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you. You are currently in my new home and literally just having a coffee after a whole weekend of dancing, hanging out, eating on the terrace for the first time in 6 months.
Oh, I missed it so much. Even though it was super, super cold. We just pretended it was the best weather of our lives.
Yeah. But when we caught the sun, it was great.
Yeah, exactly.
So how has this start of the year been for you? Because I mean, you are more online now than you are in live. You don't do outdoor classes. We can't really do classes here.
No.
So tell me a little bit how this online journey has been for you.
It was so scary. Like, I live in Snake, so I cannot do outdoor classes. Only with my normal group that I have at the gym where I teach. My regular classes. But for the rest, I need to go to Amsterdam or somewhere else to teach. And since we couldn't do it outdoors, everything had to be online. So in the beginning of this year, I was fully booked and I traveled every weekend, and it was exhausting. I really loved it, but when we did that battle together at the end of January, it was.
Oh yeah, 2020.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still living in 2020.
Yeah. We moved on, girl, but it's fine.
No. Well, when Corona started, because that is actually where my online journey also started. We all got super sick back then. Yeah. And probably COVID. We still don't know for sure, but probably. Yeah. And after that, I also felt that I didn't enjoy dancing anymore. So I was kind of hitting a burnout back then, because I also have my company and I need to work there during the weekdays, full days, and then teach in the evenings, do private classes, and then travel in the weekends. So I didn't have one free day in 2 months, and then I just got so exhausted from it. Wow. So I was actually happy that I got sick, because then I had an excuse to just do nothing and leave everything for a while. And I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going back to dancing.
Oh, wow.
But that was also because I was sick, of course. And you don't want to do anything when you're sick. We were crawling towards the toilet, you know. You know how it feels. So when I got better, I was actually, okay, I want to enjoy dancing maybe to see if it's still something I like. And then I went to parties, and then we had Sweden Kizomba Festival. Oh my God, best festival.
The last
my
festival.
Life.
The
The
last
last festival before it started.
Yeah.
And we had such a good time there. It was the best. And then I realized after 3 days of fully dancing, I don't need sleep. I can just do this, and I want to travel again. And then Corona hit. So I found back my passion, of course, but then this started, and we never expected it to take this much time, you know. And I remember that I was scared of doing a video call with someone. When someone called me on the video, I was like, oh, I don't want to show my face on the screen. That's weird. I will be talking weird when that happens, you know. So this actually pushed me to be more open for that internet screen. And then because you couldn't be with each other, you needed to do that, you know, in order to see each other. And then someone asked me to do an online class for their festival, online festival, which was something new back then.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, I don't know how that goes. Yeah, you can do it in your own home and stuff. Okay, fine. So let's just try it. And I was so bloody nervous.
I remember you clearing out a part of your home. First of all, like, where are you going to record it? I remember when you actually ordered your first light, like the light, so you could actually record. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is getting it.
Yeah, but that was like after all of this happened, because I had no idea that it would continue.
Yeah.
So in the end, after that festival, I actually enjoyed it because we could talk to people and write. And actually, when they asked things, I could explain it. I was talking to a screen, but still feeling that the people were there, you know? Yeah. And then we had that, you were there, that I ordered it and stuff, and that I got it. And then I started to do lives on Instagram, which was terrifying because I was like, I never talk. People only hear me when I'm teaching, but I never talk about my life and stuff, you know, or ask people questions and have that while other people are watching. So it was like just jumping into everything that is going on online. And then I just decided, okay, it's not that bad. I actually like it.
And you succeeded great with it. Who knew?
Expected that.
Who knew? You know,
it was terrifying because I remember my ex-partner always told me, like, he was doing online courses, and then he said, you need to do that as well. I was like, no, what is that? Yeah. Like, why would people buy that? And then this happened, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to put myself out there and just make this online course. So I kind of rebuilt my whole home. I needed to punch out a wall. I needed to put on mirrors and stuff. And then I just recorded it. I have never watched one video back while once it was edited. I never watched it back. That still doesn't feel right, but I just couldn't listen to myself anymore online at one point. I was like, you know what, the people who are gonna buy it first, they are getting a discount, and I'm gonna ask them if everything is correct, so they can be kind of the ones that are
your test people.
Yes, exactly. And they loved it, and I was so not expecting that, but it was super, super good for my own confidence that I could actually do this. And now all my private classes are going online. I have people from Dubai, from Australia, from Jakarta. She has been with me for so long, and it's just very nice because you get to know each other, but then through something through a screen, but it still works so well. I never expected that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I also told you it's time.
Oh my God, it's time. You know, I can hide behind these interviews, but I know I have not been teaching online, and I just kind of been like waiting the winter out to like, can we do outdoor classes again?
Yeah,
I love it. But you know, I feel you. I'm putting pressure. It's a challenge. I'm putting pressure on myself to also go there. I think that it's interesting because your story has been like it's not just a straight line. And I want to kind of go back to where dancing started for you and who you were before dancing entered your life.
Yeah. Well, I don't come from a dancing family. As we all know, both of you and me don't have that. And as a little girl, I told my mom that I loved all the people on TV and in music and clips and stuff. But then I was 6 years old and I couldn't really do anything besides ballet or hip hop for kids. So I decided to go for ballet. I also didn't have the perfect posture. So ballet kind of taught me the right posture. And I'm super grateful that I started with that, because the basics and the techniques of ballet are just perfect in every dance that you're doing.
Yeah.
So then I did that for a few years. I did performances as a kid. I still have those tapes. It's so funny. I was just fooling around with my classmates, you know, but on stage in front of people. So that was also my first experience. And I was not a shy kid, but I couldn't talk very well. Not that I had speech problems, but just to talk to someone was very hard. I couldn't make friends very, very fast. It took me a long time on vacation and stuff, but the dance helped my expression because I didn't have to talk. So I could just show them whatever was going on inside, even as a kid. And when we started to dance on points, Spitzen, they told me that I should go back to either normal shoes or stop, because my ankles were way too weak to continue. And I was devastated because I really love performing and dancing on points. That was like my goal, you know, that pretty ballerina. So yeah, that's just that didn't happen for me. And then I just stopped it all. I stopped dancing because it was like this dream that got crushed. So dramatic, but still. And then I wanted to go horseback riding. So completely something different. And I told my mom, in the end, I am going to be a ballerina on the horse, because I couldn't have both. I needed to pick either dance or horseback riding. Then I went for that. And then my goal was to become that. Well, in the end, I'm still having my horse and I'm dancing. So I think I did well. But yeah, exactly. But then I didn't dance for a few years. When I was 14, I came into a local street dance club. And it was super, super awesome. I did something completely different than what I was used to. And yeah, it was just moving your body in a whole different way. You're learning so much about your body. And I loved it, but then my group disappeared at one point because Snake doesn't have that much dancers, so it just stopped. I come from a town up north in Holland that is just like, this is it. If you do more,
two-step is it.
And of course the
fist
pump.
bumps. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, but if you do more, they will look at you very funny, and that's not fun.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to see it for yourself, though.
Oh, I've seen it, you know, growing up with rednecks, I was about to say, but there was like farmers. It was some people that liked like hip hop and reggae, but they weren't dancers necessarily. No, so you had to stick with the dancers if
you wanted to be in that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So for us, it was the same. And then school happened, then friends happened, and I didn't dance anymore. After that, we did a few competitions, but we were always ending up last. So it was also not very motivating, because I thought, well, maybe I'm just not that good in dance, you know? Maybe I should not do it anymore. But then I remember when I was at my parents' house in my room, I was always pretending to be on stage for so many people and just doing what I love to express without words, because I was still not good in talking back then. And yeah, that is kind of what happens next. I gained weight. My ex was actually a teacher. And I remember that I was also always telling him that he was a gym teacher. And I always told him, like, I don't know how you are able to teach because I never want to be a teacher. That was actually something that I spoke out loud.
Wow.
Yeah, I told him, like, I have no patience for that. And like the way you are with the kids and explaining things, it's so impressive, because I couldn't even explain someone how to tie the shoelaces, because I'm like, well, just like this. And because that doesn't make sense, you know, I wasn't not good in talking. So I was like, I have no idea how to explain something like that. So I never had the ambition to become a teacher, because I would feel too much on spot. I was like, just put me on the stage and I can dance, and that's fine. But the rest, to actually explain what I'm doing, no, that's out of my reach.
Yeah.
Well, I thought wrong, of course, but we will come to that later. So I came into a hip hop group, Urban Female. So it was really for more the feminine side, much more soft. And that's where I met my ex-partner, Monica, and she was the teacher. And we just had the amazing build up of our bond. I actually, together, we came to a Latin party a few years later by accident. It was in 2017, and we just fell in love with the whole community and the dance, the music. We wanted to do all of the things at the same time,
like salsa, bachata, kizomba, all of it.
Yeah, exactly, because in Friesland we don't have separate parties.
No,
we just put everything in once. And her mom was a salsa dancer, and she picked us up from we came back from holiday. So she was like, I know you're tired, but I have a party, so you're coming with me, either to sit down on a chair or to try and dance as well. And we were like, what are we going to do? So we were sitting there watching all of the people dance. And then we just fell in love with Kizomba. Like salsa bachata was nice to watch, and we actually tried to dance it, but we were way too big, of course, because I did Zumba before. That was where I kind of lost my weight, and that was also where I gave my first classes in.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Zumba,
like my exactly, because I was like, oh, that was the thing that I could relate to.
Yeah.
I loved it, and people were like, Zumba? Isn't that for like older women?
Yeah.
You know, like, and then I was like, actually, I love it. I'm losing weight, I'm dancing, that's nice music, it's a lot of styles. I have no idea what I'm doing because I don't know these styles, but it's nice. And then I was actually teaching it to high schools. So it was fun with the kids and stuff, and they didn't care what we were doing. So for me, that was fine too. And after that, I thought, oh, but that salsa, that I can do that. I have been doing that in my Zumba classes.
with your little stepping forward and stepping back. Yeah. It
was completely different, of course, because now there was a man in front of you
spinning
you. But I had a lot of trouble with intimacy and the people that came very close to you. I just came out of a long relationship, and I was like, I was 14 when I started this relationship, so I have never experienced a man.
Because now you were
close.
How old were you now?
I was 20. It was 2017. It's 2021 now. I'm now 28.
So like 24.
Yeah, 25. 20. I think I was back then. But yeah, exactly. So that was and I was 22 when I ended my relationship. So in that gap, I was only focused on the hip hop and all the other things. So also not partner dancing. So this was like the first experience again with being this close to someone. And salsa and bachata are of course different than kizomba. And that is also what was like, okay, but I can do that like with the space in between. But then kizomba came on, and there was a man and a woman, and they were doing their dance, and we were like just falling in love with what they were doing. It looked like their wedding dance.
Oh wow.
So I was like, hey, I want to find my husband. I want to find my husband like this and do this.
Oh my God.
So that was the main goal why I actually started with this.
Wow, but that's so interesting though, because there's a lot of men where, especially when I interview, when I ask like, so why did you start dancing? And they'd be like, I wanted to impress the girls.
Yeah.
You're the first woman that I hear was like, I wanted to find myself a man, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then it was so conflicting because I was also terrified to dance with men. But then my thought was, but I want to find a husband like this. This is perfect. They love to dance. I love to dance. We can share a dance. It looks beautiful.
Wow.
So yeah, that is kind of how it started. But then I decided to just start with the men steps first.
Okay.
You know, so then I told Monica, we can dance together. I'm gonna learn the men steps, and if you're gonna do the women steps that I said back then, we can dance together, and I don't have to dance with men first. Later, when I know the dance, you know.
Got it. So that's why you got into leading.
Yeah, I actually started with that
because you were terrified of the leaders.
Yes.
Wow. I never knew that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So Monica became the follower and you just took the lead on learning how to lead, basically.
Yeah. And I remember that our teacher was like, well, you guys are not experienced in this. I mean, you can dance solo, but in partner dance is completely different. And then he said, you can watch during the intermediate class, but I don't have space for you guys to be actually in the class. So we were standing like all the way to the back. And I was like, I can do that. And then we just practice at home a lot and YouTube videos and stuff. And we found Anna and Carolina and Albert and Sara Lopez. So we were like, oh my God, this is just what we're going to do. We're going to focus on this completely.
Yeah.
And then we went to our first Kizomba festival. So just to make sure, that is kind of how I started with dance. But as I said before, like my family is not into dance. My mom loves music, but we never learned to play an instrument or anything. So I do have family that is, we have Advendo. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like this big band, and they also have these caps, like there are even competitions in it, and they play the drums and they walk with sticks and
it's like a drill kind of parade
band. with the what's it called,
the horns,
the horns and it's super awesome, but I never saw myself doing that. I couldn't read notes and stuff, so for me it was like I like what you're doing, but it's not for me. And I was the only one who started to dance. And they were like, but what is your goal? You know, you cannot make a career out of this. Yeah. And I never wanted to make a career. I just love to express. Yeah. So I was very happy that I continued that. My family, my dad, my mom was super supportive about it always. So that I'm very, very happy with. And they were never like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do this anymore. No, they were always like, if you want to do this, you can. Yeah. So go for it. Just go for your dreams.
That's so beautiful, because I was about to say maybe a lot of people that know you from dancing don't know that you are also an entrepreneur. You started your own company as one of the youngest company owners in your city together with your mom. And tell me a little bit how that also has changed you as a person, because it's a lot of responsibility. You were like 22 and having your own store and everything. So were you always disorganized, or did you have to learn it kind of as you went?
I was always very organized. I always, from a young girl on, I was very clear about where I wanted to go in life. As I said, when I was 14, I got into a relationship. We were together for 7 years. So you make plans together. So for me, that was to just finish get my diplomas and find a good job I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I just decided to start with the entrepreneur education, and then especially a major in fashion. So that is kind of how I started, because that was just what I love to do. I love to watch the fashion shows, and I wanted to create my own fashion shows, and eventually I had to do that as well. So kind of dance fashion shows with together. I'm doing that now as well. But that's like a whole different story.
Yeah. I remember you have these gigs. Yeah.
Which is super awesome, because I never thought, after I organized my own fashion show, I told them, this is my last fashion show. I'm never going to do this again, because it's so much work. So much responsibility, so much stress. And now I'm just one of the models. So I don't have the stress, but
you don't have to do it.
The fun things, you know. But back then, I finished that. I did it just normal 3 years, and then it was like, what to do now? Because that was my goal. And then it's like, either I'm gonna do another education, or I'm gonna start getting experience in this area. So I did that for 1 year, and I was sitting at my home almost crying every day, because I was miserable. I didn't like what I was doing every day. It felt that I was kind of wasting my life. I didn't have fun. I didn't dance back then. So that was also not a nice stress relief, because I didn't have any. And then I decided to go back to school. I just didn't want to go through that whole 3-year program again. So I decided to do it in 10 months instead of 3 years. My teachers were like, you can try, but I'm going to tell you, it will never work. So be realistic. I was like, why wouldn't it work? I have that in my mind, so I'm just going to do it. Doesn't matter what you're saying. I just want to do it. And they were like, fine, just do whatever you want. You know, they were super supportive, but they didn't thought I would succeed in it.
That's a 3-year bachelor in like business, or
it was college, so it was not the higher ones. I could do that as well, and then in 2 years. But I didn't want to go into the business part, because I wanted to go into the bank. It's like bankwezen.
Like the financial
world ish, like being an accountant or something completely different than what I did, because I was like, I want to go more into the economical scene and world. So I found this education. I was like, that's very easy for me, because I can take a lot of my old education and put it into this one, so I can do half of the work. So I explained that to them as well, and they were like, sure, if that's your plan, then go for it, you know. So I did it, and I succeeded. I got a good internship at the Rabobank. So that for me was amazing, because I could learn a lot there and create amazing connections, which I then used for my own company. But I didn't know that I wanted to have a company back then. But when I finished my education, my mom lost her job, because that company closed. And she was so sad. I've never seen her this sad. So she said, the next thing that I want to do, I don't want to work for anyone anymore, but I want to have my own store. But she has never done an education. So she didn't have the papers for it. I had the perfect papers for it, because I had the accountancy papers and the entrepreneur papers and the fashion papers. So I was like, if you get my papers with your experience,
boom,
we have the perfect combination. And then I was like, I'm going to help you. And once everything is set up, I'm going to move on to what I want to do, because this is not my dream back then. But then when everything was done, and I have been through that whole process of making a business plan in 2 weeks instead of 2 years, because the business plan costs so much time to actually put everything. And I was like, I have so much in my head. I'm so focused, because I still had that drive from doing that education so in such a short time. And once you have that focus and a goal, that is just the perfect combination, because the motivation is so high, and it's like a burning desire of wanting that. And that's the only thing you will say. I didn't have a social life at all. I didn't go out with friends at all. I was just, that is what I want, and that is what I'm going to focus on. Doesn't matter how long it will take, but I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
And then we succeeded. Everything was up, and then I was like, I don't want to lose my baby, because now it's here, you know.
Yeah.
And now we already have it for 7 years.
Wow.
I have never left, and dance came into the middle. So I'm always a person, I want to do things for 3 years maximum, and then I want to do something completely different. That is just what I have been doing my whole life. But now, because dance came in the middle, I was like, you know, I can actually combine these two, because I do it together with my mom. We also have employees. When I'm away and dancing and stuff, they can take over. And then when I come back, I'm going to do the things that I have to do, because I'm responsible for the accountancy part. Yeah. I don't have to do that in the store. I can do that at home as well. Yeah. So that is kind of how everything started.
Wow. Yeah, it explains a lot, because, you know, I mean, you started like 2017. That's like only 4 years ago. Not
with
a lot
Corona.
With COVID. So literally you had like 3 efficient years. Yeah. How long did it take? So you came together with Monica. You started to lead and follow. You started to travel together. But how did you get your first booking? Because also there's not a lot of women couples. We all know that. Like from Gothenburg, where I come from, we had like the only taxi team of women's. They were called Mystique. Yeah. And they were traveling. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of women who also both could lead and follow. Yeah. So how did you feel when you got the first booking? And like, it just continued after that, but there must have been a point quite fast where you actually got a booking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was also the funny thing, because my first festival in 2017 was 4 months or 5 months after I started to actually choose for Kizomba, because before I did all 3 styles. But when I focused a lot on Kizomba, because for me, coming from a solo dance, it was much more easy to kind of create my own style and mix it into that. You know, I came from the completely opposite side. I came from the overstyling side, but not following, you know. So I had to cut so much during this journey. But I just brought in my solo dance into the partner dance. So 4 months after that, Amsterdam Kizomba Festival here in the Netherlands, we had that one. Were you there in 2017?
No, 18.
18. Yeah, because first time I saw you in Sweden. Yeah. I had been doing, together with Monica, we have been doing every workshop on the schedule. We were so dead. I can still remember how I felt walking to our hotel. I couldn't feel my legs anymore. Wow. I didn't know where I was. Everything was completely as if I was a ghost. But I loved every class, because everything is new, you know, and every social, every party until the end. We didn't sleep at all. I had to sleep in my car at one point. But the last day, I remember Jesse Kurbango. He came to me and he asked me, are you a teacher here? I was like, what? I was actually turning around like, to who are you talking? And then he was like, no, I mean you. I was like, me? No. This is my first festival as a participant. I'm a beginner. Wow. And then he said, I don't really care. Do you want to assist me in my class tomorrow? I was like, yeah, sure. I thought he was joking. Wow. Yeah. So 4 months, 5 months in, and then I actually assisted. I would have never been as scared or nervous for anything, and not even for my driver's license to pass it. But this was, I didn't even feel my fingers anymore, that scared I was.
And can I ask you one question about that? Because I've also assisted this man one time. Did he ever prepare you for what he's going to do in class?
we were doing like, I think 10 minutes before the class, he was like, I want to do this. And it's like, how does it feel for you? I was like, I think it's fine.
But how are you going to explain that?
No. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I tried to help him.
Yeah.
But in the end, I also told him like, it's better if, but he thought I could talk the most because his English wasn't that good back then. So we were like,
great combo.
Oh.
Great combo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But in the end, the people really liked the class, and it's still on YouTube. It's so funny to watch.
Oh my gosh, I really want to go back and watch it. Wow.
I think I sent it into the groups app a while back.
Oh my gosh. I have to see that.
So much overstyling. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was so much fun.
You still have a lot of styling, but I can't even imagine how it used to look like because it's still a lot. But now it's, you know, like it's within your following.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine, because I was the same.
Yeah.
I was like, if you let me go, I'm going to do my own thing. Let me go. And I will show you all of it.
Oh God.
All the chest bumps.
Yeah, exactly. Look what I can do. Did you hear that? I could catch it.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Exactly. I'm going to catch all the beats.
Yeah.
All the beats.
Yeah, we were so enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel sad for the leaders actually, but most of them liked it. Most of them.
Yeah, but I think we're all trying, you know. We're still all trying, and there's no recipe for this. So
thanks Lord, because that is like what makes it so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the first time, but then you continued with Monica.
Yeah, together with Monica, and I met my ex-partner there as well.
Yeah.
And then we just started to he from Sweden, Ronnie Saleh.
Yeah.
And he kind of taught me everything I knew because I was still a beginner. I needed to soak up all the information.
Yeah.
So he trained me in such an efficient way that I was able to teach and actually explain what I'm doing even before I actually knew what I was doing. So that has been such a like from here going to there in such a short time, and it was very stressful because I really wanted to do good
again, like the 3 years you should have to learn how to teach, you did it in like compact.
Yes, very, very short. Just skipping the whole trying out part and just going straight diving into the deep. And because I didn't even want to become a teacher, I was like, but I don't know how to handle this. And he also put a lot of pressure on me because he always forgot that I was just dancing for so short, you know. So I was like, I want to do good for him. I want to do this well because I don't like failing, you know. And actually, I'm so grateful for him giving me that push because that's the push I needed to become better. And that I just had such an advantage of that. I had to just do it in such a short time that I just gained time, you know,
for sure.
And I'm super happy with that now. And also my low points that I really had to focus on, I could just see it in the videos as well. And then I can just pinpoint it, work on it, become better each video. And that was in such a short time. But then at home practice a lot because my balance just was really, really bad. And then when you just practice a lot on one thing each time, you just become better very fast. So that is how it started. And then here in the Netherlands, because we couldn't teach that much together because he lives in Sweden and we're here, I did a lot with Monica. And at one point we just did Ladystyling. That just started in Leeuwarden, which is also in Friesland. That was one of my first classes together with her in Ladystyling. And then I was like, oh, but I like this as well to teach this because it comes back to my solo experiences. But now I'm the teacher, you know, which is exciting because I learned so much from that. And then I found the love that I have for it and why I love it so much. It's really to help someone and see the joy in their faces when something works. Even if it's such a simple thing to adjust, when they experience how it also can be with a little bit of styling or a different technique, and then the proudness that they experience, you know, that for me is why I love to teach.
Yeah.
It's not for myself, but it's just to see the student or the person in my class helping them with their journey.
Yeah.
And I think the same is for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like, you know, when you have students and you can see that they're coming into the class a bit like stiff or like a bit uncomfortable, a little bit nervous, and then they leave class like, woo, got this, nailed it, boom, you know, and it's so beautiful. And I think that especially in like lady styling classes, you get to have that moment with the ladies, which is like, you know, okay, we're all out there on the dance floor, but what we create here is like that unification, like that when I see you on the dance floor, I will hype you up because we've been together in the same class. We've been looking at each other. We've been cheering for each other. So once you get out on that social floor, you start feeling like a community amongst the women, which is so rare because normally we only dance with the guys or the leaders, you know, whoever they are.
Exactly.
So I think that that's super precious. And that I'm also like, now when I think about you dancing, I just see a piece of blonde hair flying from the ceiling to the floor, and I realized what it was. It was at the Sunday party at Sweden Kizomba Festival. I don't remember if that was also 2018.
2018.
Yeah. And we were at Twisted Feet because the Sunday was at Twisted Feet.
Yeah.
And I saw you and Ronnie dancing, and I just saw the blonde locks from the ceiling dip down to the floor, and I was like, who is this blonde girl?
This?
And then when we moved here 2018, me and Malcolm, our first party was in Hoofddorp.
Yeah.
And Ronnie stepped in.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was it.
I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, we just moved here to Hoofddorp. What are you? He's like, but yeah, I'm here with Danielle. And then I was like, the blonde hair.
The blonde flip.
The blonde hair. Yeah. It's interesting to like, you know, put the pieces together since we also been traveling with Ronnie to like Croatia and done other things with him. So it's funny. It's funny how it all is connected.
It's such a small world.
Yeah.
And then also like you came to the parties in Amsterdam where I was as well.
Jungle.
Yeah, the jungle. Oh, we miss it so much.
Yeah.
And then in Sweden Kizomba, I think that was the first time we actually talked. And then we saw each other at jungle and we were like, oh, hey, now we can actually discuss something, you know?
And I will never forget because I used to watch it because I was, you know, both me and Mally were new still. Like we knew some people, but definitely not a lot of people when we moved here. And I just saw like, that's the girl. And then you were like showing so much styling in your dancing that I'm like, I want to dance with her, you know? I
cannot imagine that you wanted to do that though.
Yes, those long legs, super straight legs. And I'm like, shit, I don't have legs like that. You know, like I want to learn something about them straight legs that this girl got. But now I understand it's from the ballet. I got it.
Yeah, that is where it absolutely comes from. Yeah. And that's so funny because you were that grounded. You had that groundedness in your dance. Like, how does she do that? How is she keeping her balance that well?
I'm just bending my legs. That's it.
It's like two separate worlds, but it was so awesome. And then I saw you perform at Sweden Kizomba.
Oh yes,
with Fuse Fam. And then I just fell in love with you because your expression, you're dynamic. Yeah, you're dynamic and just explosiveness. I was like, oh my God, this is that girl. And then I don't know how we started to talk, but our first dance together, and after that everything just just clicked
naturally.
Yeah.
Like, it's us now.
Yeah.
And funny enough, who would have known that we would gonna represent Netherlands together, you know?
At the Battle Kizz.
At the Battle Kizz. How was actually it for you to start competing?
Well, because I have been competing in the hip hop, well, it's not hip hop scene. I don't want to call it that, but the hip hop scene in Friesland.
Yeah.
Which is completely different.
We're not judging it to New York here.
Precies.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Precies.
Yeah.
So I was kind of used to being on the stage and then trying to compete with people. But now, since it was in a different style and I also had to lead, I was like, okay, now I have to bring like so much new things that I'm not used to, and being in connection with my partner, because that is what we kind of forget in battles and competitions. Yeah, that we're so focused with everyone around us, the camera or the other team, that we just forget about our partner. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? That is the one thing you have to remember. Yeah. Connect with Monica, because you two have to do it. Yeah. You know, so in the end, we kind of talked, we agreed on this little signal, and then we started to do the things together as a team, remember?
The routines.
Yeah. The routines, And then I just missed that whole cue. And you were all waiting for me. And then I saw your face. I was like, oh, let's go. No. Yeah. And you all got it.
Yeah. We were ready. Ooh. We came prepared though.
Yes.
We came prepared.
Oh, wow. I loved our team. Dwayne, Gabby, Teaser, Mally, Monica, Danielle. Yep. For us, it was such an honor to be dancing and competing together with you guys, because for us, you, Mally, and Dwayne and Gabby are like that couple.
Ooh, cutie. Well, I feel like, you know, it was very natural that we were going to be in it, because we had already competed at the Battle Kizz in the Saturday's Kizomba festival. Yeah. But you know, when we got the question, like, who else do you want to bring on the team? Like, we just wanted to also show, you know, that the Netherlands have something unique, which is like, now it was a female couple, which both could lead and follow, which was great, because then we could also do routines. Yeah. Where we could switch. And I loved the moment where you had to lift in heels, when you're standing on heels and you have to do the routine, not only leading but also lifting a whole other person. That was spectacular.
Oh my God. And I thought that I was so sore because of that. Yeah. That turned out to be the sickness that we got. Yeah. That had nothing to do with the list, but I felt for me that I was doing a combat battle.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it was great. Yeah. It was really great.
Yeah, because when I think back, I think that's the only real competition I had fun doing. The competition on stage, being on stage. Yeah. Because in the other competitions, I remember that I cannot remember how I felt because I wasn't present enough. Yeah. But with this competition, with you guys, the energy there, the audience, the other team, everyone was just like cheering for each other, you know? So that was, it was a very beautiful experience. And I'm very happy with us.
And you were actually going to go and do the solo competition, even though COVID took it away. But like, I would have loved to see you though, as a solo, because the category is solo, improvisation kind of thing.
It was the World Battle Kizz. So they were handing out wild cards. So I represented Netherlands, and I got the, so it was a very big honor for me to do that without even having to compete before, you know. So it was and an honor and very stressful, because like I'm not having experience in doing lady styling on stage, improvising, because I'm more of a choreography dancer. So improvising has never been my strong point, not either in all the other styles. as well as in Ladystyling, because for me, it's like, I'm not a freestyler. I'm a choreography person. I need to have routines where I can fall back on.
Where's the count?
Exactly. But I also love to do, I'm really focused on musicality. So for me, it's like, when I know the song, I don't worry about it. But because we don't know which song we're gonna get in Battle Kizz, that was also like, I have to know so many songs in order to get my musicality jumping off exactly on point. So yeah, that was, but then in the end it didn't happen. So who knows, maybe it will happen someday.
Absolutely. If you hear this, make sure that she's in the new wild card, you know, because we want to see that. I will really want to see that. After I saw Tara Stephanie in the Olympiads, I was like, this is a style I could do. This is funny. But I still don't exactly know what you would do, because I think that, you know, we have also talked about, like, when you have a lot of styles in your body, it's really hard to just keep to one. And how do you keep to one in a solo Urban Kizz performance or improvisation? Like, I think that I will naturally mix like, a little bit of whacking and a little bit of dancehall, and I'm like, so where do we draw the line?
Where is the line
of like putting flavor and like mixing styles? So
yeah, that's a very interesting one. I have been thinking about that as well, but since I have been doing so much Ladystyling Urban Kizz, when I came to the clubs, when we could still go to clubs, I was always together with Monica. We were always the ones, when we danced hip hop, the ones that were in the circle, you know, dancing. And even freestyle, because then I needed to do it. I needed to force myself, and it was so much fun. We were also on stage and stuff, just being ourselves. It was a lot of fun. But when I started to do Urban Kizz Ladystyling, I could only do a Saida in the club. So I forgot about all of the other things that we have been doing before that, because my brain was so brainwashed into that Urban Kizz. So, but now I try to really mix, as you say. I think the scene is becoming wider and more open to Kizomba fusion. I also say, like, sometimes I even do a salsa or a bachata move in my Ladystyling. It's Kizomba fusion, so you know. And I think when we go back to our regular
dance life with festivals,
I think it will be a whole different world, because people are really focused on practicing on their own, solo styling, solo expression, and then to see how we can mix it into partner again. So I think the fusion will become more acceptable when we go back. I hope so.
I really hope so. I mean, that's where I want to go. So
exactly.
But what is, like, now, I mean, you're still teaching your privates, you still have some classes online, you know, you travel for your privates as well. Like, what would be like one of your dreams coming through with the dancing? Because you have already achieved quite a lot in a very short amount of time. But what is it? Is it to have a team to train, like a Ladystyling specific team, or is it to do more videos or collabos, or what is kind of your like things that makes you tingle up a little bit?
I have been actually thinking about that a lot, because we're sitting at home and it's like, what do I want when we go back, you know? Or if things will have to be adjusted. And then I just really want to travel, and I really want to explore other cultures, other people, and just to go beyond that ceiling that I have right now, because for me, I feel that I'm very stuck in my dance. I need new inspiration. So that is kind of where I'm at right now. But a dream coming true, that is actually, I haven't not thought about that well enough to get a good answer. But a team, people have been asking me that, and there is a lady styling group in Romania that I was going to teach there, but then everything happened, so I just gave them my stuff online. They learned the choreography and they did it with their lady team. So when I saw that under my name, I was like, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. So maybe that will happen, but before that happens, I feel that I need to learn way more than I do now. I haven't learned enough. I haven't tasted enough. I'm really, really hungry for more experience in how to widen up my own dance and how to bring that to the people again. Translate that to the students. So I'm not there yet. I want to become at that. I want to come to that point that I'm like, now I'm going to create my own team. That will be super, super awesome.
I think that could be really cool.
Yeah. But for now, there's so much to learn for myself. To go for first.
And I see you. I mean, we took class this morning. You know, you're taking inspirations from other styles too, and I think that is what's going to keep us going and what's going to fill up our own cup. You know, because as before, when I lived in Sweden, you know, I used to teach every week, not Kizomba per se, but like all the other styles. And there comes to a certain point where you like, okay, I'm preaching, you know, that everyone should go out there and do their thing, but like, and when do I get to fill up my own cup? And where do I find inspiration? And for me, that was when I was traveling. Now I have the benefit of living in the Netherlands now, and I have the access to all these different dancers, dance hall or high heels or Kizomba or Afro, whatever, that I'm just like, I'm not sure that I want to teach regular classes. I want to teach workshops, but I want to make every workshop super special because I have this now, you know, this inflow of inspiration, and it's changing my own dance. So I want to come to a point where I'm like, okay, now I feel like I want to do it every time, because I have also thought about it. Like, okay, should I create a lady styling group that I can put in all these dances inside? So I'm also
want to be in that team.
Oh my god! Yes, you have already been in my first video.
It was so
good.
It was so awesome.
It was amazing. Like, you know, when I got here and I see all you strong women that I met so far, and I was like, you know, why are we not in the same video? So
but it was also funny because you went from fellow dancer to director. And we were all like hanging on your lips, like, this girl, she has so much unseen talent in also directing and visualizing something and then explaining it so well that we don't even have questions. We just gonna do it.
You all did it very well. And I pushed you out of your comfort zone, but it looked really great. And that is also what I love, because we as you see, we all have our differences and our different styles. We can learn so much from each other. And that is also the biggest tip that I'm giving the students and the people who just start dancing. Like, go and find someone who inspires you, and don't be afraid to ask, like, okay, so where can I learn from you, you know, and try to pick something from each person that you meet or see on the dance floor, and then try to make your own out of that. Exactly. And I think we should do that more, you know, like, we do so many choreos for classes or whatever, but it should also be, you know, okay, I have this choreo, I'm going to call in these and these people and just do a video of it, because I mean, you teach a bunch of choreos that I never get to do. And I'm like, when do I get to do your choreos? I also want to do all this, you know, lady styling and all of the musicality and the sharp feet and, you know, all of that.
I seriously have never thought about because for me it's like I come up with it, I teach it, and then I lose it again, you know. And And the funny thing is, one of my students, she came to my Instagram because one of the big platforms, they shared my video.
Yeah.
And then they didn't put out my name. So she was constantly searching for that blonde girl with that leggings that was doing it to that song, you know? And then she found me through someone else. And then she was like, but this is the girl who did Mikola. And Mikola was my first big video. That one was, I was sending it to people like, is this okay to post? Because I'm very scared to put myself out there. Because I finally lost weight and I was training my Ladystyling, my balance. It was still not perfect, but I was like, I just need to push myself to post this. And I'm still, every time I'm gonna post something, I'm like, oh, will people even like this? Or is this even good? You know,
it's a journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Confidence journey.
A confidence journey. And then she contacted me and she was like, I want to take classes with you. And now, like months later, she was like, I think now I'm ready to learn the choreography that I in the beginning found you with. And it's one of the most hardest combos I've ever done. That was my first one. I never felt that I went beyond that choreography afterwards, because I had to do it now myself, and I completely forgot about that choreography. And now I was like, man, this is hard. Because now my style changed through these 2 years, because it was beginning of 2019 that I posted it. And now I'm like, I cannot move like that anymore. And I need to practice because I cannot do my own choreography. So for me, that's a very good challenge, because it means that I need to step up, you know?
But I never even thought about going back to one of my old choreos too. Like, I have never done that.
No.
Once I do a choreo and I record it, like, it's out. It's out. I don't want to hear the song anymore.
No, exactly.
It's, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, interesting. Interesting. Well, maybe there's going to be a lady team by Daniella one day. So that's really good.
Well, now you actually gave me a great idea to just make something. I think we have to do like a collabo with more people. Everyone has their own piece. And then see what we can make out of it. I think that way super awesome.
Hey, you're the first one to hear this, so
stay tuned.
Okay. Well, I know we can talk for hours, so, you know, I'm gonna have to let you go back to Snake. But I in the end of my interviews, I always do this like fill in the gap. So I also want to throw that out on you. And you know how it is. You end with one word or an end of a sentence, and whatever comes up is your own truth. So no judgment. Okay. Are we ready?
I'm not so good in this, but
we can do it.
I've heard you doing it with other people, and it was so interesting and inspiring. I was like, how are they coming up with these answers? But as you say, it's about your own life, so then it's more easy.
Absolutely. Okay. So when I say, let's start easy. When you're dancing on a really good song together with someone, how does that make you feel?
Oh, I forget about time. I am so present and in the moment. I just feel that I am that. Just that song. Sometimes the connection with the leader is not even that fantastic. But when I hear a song that I really love, I can just dive into that.
You see how she just lost herself? I said one word or an end of a sentence and she went off. That's how passionate this girl is. Okay, well, let's try another one.
Yeah,
one word.
Oh shit! Now that you mentioned it, it's like one word. Okay, sorry.
Got it. But that was beautiful.
Yeah. I just
because I feel it too.
I
know. Okay. When I teach my student, I always try.
One word, or can I make it
or an end of a sentence?
Yes.
Oh my god!
I always try to inspire them to grow.
Inspiration for me means
creativity,
I feel the most creative when
I dance.
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to become a little more philosophical, dance has changed me
Completely in every way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? So confident. She's like, completely. Okay, if it's one thing I would like to give on to other dancers, it would be
follow your heart in everything that you do. Yeah, because for me, I'm going
sidetrack
back to my book words, not one word, but if you don't do what you love, you will never find your true self, and you will never become as happy as you can be. And don't let other people destroy that that power that you have inside, because I have had a lot of people telling me when I started my company, when I went for teaching and abroad teaching, they were like, but yeah, it's very risky, and are you sure you have enough things to teach, and are you there yet? Like all of the negativity that then if you would take it personally, you would feel like maybe I'm not good enough, and then you would leave it. But something so beautiful can come out of that risk, taking that risk, just going for it, Yeah, so that is what I want to give other dancers, other people. It doesn't matter if you're a dancer, yes or no. It's just
follow your
heart and your intuition.
That's so beautiful. All right. If I could take a plane tomorrow to anywhere in the world, it would be.
Oh my God, there's so much. I don't know. There's too much. Too much I want to travel to. There is Santorini, the one in with the one that I've seen pictures of it. It's like these white houses with the blue capitals on top.
Greece.
I think yeah, it's in Greece. I think I saw Sarah Lopez in a video there, and I was like, that is my next destination. That is so beautiful. I want to record a video there. So that is the first one that I come, but so much. I want to go to Australia, to India. I would love to go there. America, because I wanted to go. I was booked in Texas last year.
Neo.
Yeah, for New Kids. I want to go there. So I really want to go.
Yeah.
I can't go. And I hope you can join me, because that would be the best thing ever.
Me too.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I think we will have a lot of awesome journeys together.
Oh yeah,
it feels like that.
For sure. We didn't even have time to start.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Okay. One of the best advices I have ever gotten was.
It was from my mom. As a kid, she told me, you can do and be whatever and whoever you are if you really desire that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom.
Thank you, Mom. Because
shout out to Mom.
Yeah,
nice.
That really gave me a lot of hope and confidence, because I was very bad in calculating back when I was younger, and I always felt that I was stupid. That seems very, very harsh to say to yourself, but I always felt that I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't fun enough. And when she told me that, I was like, yeah, no, I don't think you're right. But now in the end, I'm like, everyone can be whoever they want to be.
Yeah, because you really never thought that you were going to be who you are today.
Exactly.
You never thought that.
No, exactly. And that's still such a surprise for myself.
Yeah. And
yeah, I'm so happy to have met everyone because of it. I mean, I have met my closest friends, this one, through something I love to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just very grateful for that advice.
We are too. Yeah. That you follow that advice. All right. So thank you so much, babe. Thank you for coming here and thank you for talking. Oh, I see the sun is in my face right now.
Oh, it's really exactly.
I am whiter than I ever been in this video. Okay.
Yeah, now I'm too.
We can be together. No, but thank you so much for coming and for hanging out. And I know that this is just the beginning of a long journey. And I can't wait to see where it takes you. You have already done so much. So I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of you.
But I also want to say that you have been one of the biggest inspirations that I have met. Even before I knew who you are, but when I got to know you as a person, even more. You are one of the people that I think of, like, what would Therese do in this situation? Aww. It sounds super cheesy, but it's really the truth, because you're so deep and so much, I don't know, so much life is going on inside of you, and you shared it with everyone around you. And I just want to say thank you for that, because that inspires me so much. And therefore I want to ask you, what is the best advice that you got?
I'm gonna tattoo this advice on my own body one day. And it was an advice that I got a long time ago. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, I believe, and I got it from my friend Loyenda, who passed last year. And I was 18 when he gave me a speech, and this speech says, when you let yourself shine, you unconsciously let other people do the same. And that quote has like stuck with me. Every time I pull a tarot card, it says like, don't dim your light, you know, let your light shine. And it just keeps on reminding me about that. And, you know, every time I feel what we talked about before, like, oh, is this video good enough? I'm thinking, but if I'm not putting it out there, I'm also not letting the people who's even more insecure to put their things out, or to do, you know, to express. And if I never do anything that maybe has not this perfect thing, you know, then I'm also not letting other people not be perfect. So it's a constant, you know, we are artists, we're perfectionists. We, you know, yes, it's very easy to go into this director mode or whatever, but I feel like that is something I constantly have to remind myself of like, you know, when we shine, we inspire other people to shine, and they inspire other people to shine. And like, if this is what we're here to do, that's what we're here to do.
But that is also what I mean. Like, you have so much life inside, and you just glow. And that is what we are like, oh, I can do that too. Not in the same way, because you have that, I don't know, I don't have words for it, but it's so inspiring.
Thank you, my Leo. My son, Leo. So cute. Oh, thank you, babe. That means a lot.
Yeah. So never dim your light. I love that.
Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.